Lesbian romance fiction, Sade and Mischa. More than just a hot and sexy lesbian novel. Erotic South African lesbian fiction series, Books 1, 2, and 3. Written by Scarlet Butler. Narrated by Melissa Sternenberg. Book 1. Dykes Galore in Cape Town. There was a time when I wanted to allow all my love to be expressed fully down the street. Never was there a moment when I realized that life was all about fighting for my rights down in the town where I was born. All I ever knew was to suppress a love I felt for another person. A life with another woman in my society was viewed as something almost sacrilegious. Don't they know that all I wanted was just to be in love with someone else? Why was that so wrong? I could never understand what was wrong with being myself. I did know, through social conditioning and expectations, that what I did was inherently wrong. This is my story. It is the only story I will tell from the time I lost the battle at life, won it, and relinquished it when death came knocking at my door. This is the story of how Sade and Mischa met. It does not matter whose story this belongs to. It belongs to us both. We are both Sade and Mischa, and we have overcome that turmoil in its most fundamental manner. Belonging to this world means that we have to conform to certain rules, Sade's mother said as she viciously scrubbed the wounds on her daughter's legs. That is what belonging to this family, this community, this country means. Sade grimaced and clenched her teeth as the woolen cloth brushed at her shin and knee. Of all the places to have a nasty fall, it had to be in an alleyway with some shards of broken glass waiting to snag some unwary passerby. Fuck. Luck was never on her side. She was unwilling to scream out in pain. That would mean submission towards what the homophobes had tried to do one on her. I told you 1,000,000 times, don't travel out alone. Her mother muttered more to herself than Sade. It seemed to be a litany her mother had adopted from Sade's brash actions. A small hand dipped the clean cloth into the pail and squeezed at it. Was the police not around? From beyond the kitchen where she sat in front of her kneeling mother, Sade focused at the picture hanging on the wall of their living room. The clock showed that it was almost 3 a.m. She had not realized that much time had transpired from when she had come out of the club. She hoped that the other girls would be able to get home safely. What the fuck was the use of the police? All they did was throw people like me in jail, Sade muttered. Her mother did not reprimand her for the use of a foul language. The frown on her face turned into something else, a mixture of pity and understanding. At least her mother knew that things were still not looking too well for homosexuals. It was strange, too. Though the bill had been passed to decriminalize homosexuality, she was still treated like a criminal by the general public. A criminal. Sade smiled grimly to herself. She felt like a martyr. How ironic that she was suffering greatly just for going out to a lesbian bar that night. That, too, in a relatively safe neighborhood. What was worse than being black in this country? In the wake of apartheid, perhaps more problems would be faced when you were a woman. Sade was both. To add much more undesired variables to the already unwanted equation, she was a homosexual. That was the crème de la crème of unwanted characteristics within her society. Only her mother understood, but that too had its limitation. Her mother was never good with expressing her emotions. A physically and emotionally abusive husband had knocked that sense out of her mother a long time ago. All she could do was mutter silently as she washed Sade's wound. Cloth soaked in blood, gravel, and dirt were dipped into the clean pail of water. Sade saw it turn from clear to brown. The clean drops and damp cloth stung at her slightly exposed flesh. Each nerve screamed.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.